Yeah.
Oh, it's a mission just getting out of the driveway.
This driveway is steep as hell too.
Those hawkies out. Rock, flag and eagle. There's loads of them. There's hawks. Colombia's got so many crazy birds. They got pretty pink birds, they got squeaky birds.
Squeaky bird.
They got vultures.
Squeaky bird's my favorite.
Fucking hideous ass vultures that fly over and just like, oh, army peasants. Hello. We're taking a walk to the store here in Colombia. And we thought, as we're about to be going to an ayahuasca, I mean, well, actually, first before that, like, check that view out, guys.
Beauteous.
Isn't that gorgeous? Flying over into Colombia, it looked like Titan's playground, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, we are 2 days away from going
To ayahuasca.
to ayahuasca, a retreat. Get some TLC and work through some life things. Yep.
My demons.
We're gonna go, like Clivey boy, into a metaphysical realm.
Yeah.
And fight with our shadow selves. Our shadowy freaks.
Yes.
So yeah, we're probably gonna be away for like a couple of weeks.
Couple weeky poos.
I thought I've been doing a lot of critical videos on 16. Not a lot, but just a lot of talk about the ending, how I think it could have been improved. Certainly spoken a lot about the combat and being a bit too easy.
Yeah.
Not enough challenge on the NG plus replayability.
All valid criticisms.
All valid criticisms. Missing. Wait for this bus to go. Oh, that bus has just churned up a bunch.
It's just sharded everywhere.
Talking about like not enough variety in terms of gameplay elements. I do feel like being a war game, like some sort of RTS or some sort of mini games, things like that. But all of that aside, for both of us, there's a lot we love about 16.
Yeah.
And as we take a little walk to the store, our last stroll,
We're going to Positivity Land.
we're going to Positivity Land. What we loved about 16, what this game absolutely conquered and slayed on.
Watch out so nobody yeets that out of your hand. We could talk about the things we love most first.
The things we love most.
Yeah.
The animation. Oh. Yeah,
I
Dion.
love Dion most.
Dion is an absolute solid character. Is he your favourite in all of Final Fantasy?
That's a difficult question, but I would say maybe.
Like for me before it was Balthier from 12, and then frankly Sid came along and
Sid is great.
Sid just had even more of a legendary presence on screen.
Yeah.
But then
Very
if I go Sid and Dion, I'm like, shit, Dion. So I can't actually believe it, but when I go through those steps, does that make Dion my favourite character in all of FF?
I mean, because for me it was Laguna. Laguna was my favorite character.
Yeah?
Yeah. And
You know he had like 10 hours of content cut.
yeah, so I've heard, and
Yeah.
that pisses me off so much. He did not deserve that kind of treatment.
Well, you saying Dion is your favourite kind of ties into the same reason what is my favourite when I said the animation. Because it is just that expressiveness, guys. It
Oh yeah.
still blows my mind. The faces, the subtle expressions, the fourth dimensional characterizations that, you know, you see through animation way before they even say anything. Right?
Oh yeah.
And the dialogue in this game has been absolutely superb, phenomenal, down to earth. Yeah, let's take a chill here. Walking too fast, I
Okay.
can barely breathe.
Yeah.
But Dion, what do you love about Dion specifically?
So Dion, what I love about him is that he, first off, his presence, right? He every time Dion is on screen, it's like, oh shit! Like I have
Let's
like
go.
a reaction.
Let's go.
Of like, let's fucking go! It's Dion.
Yeah, I was
It's just like so exciting for some reason.
It was that way for every Sam Breck arc, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, every moment, anything. Like meanwhile, when I saw that meanwhile,
Yeah.
we cut away to
Yeah.
Dion or something else. Like,
I think the coolest thing about Dion is he doesn't try to be cool. He's just very cool.
no, he is naturally a swag.
He's just naturally really cool,
Yeah.
and he's really like he's got a lot of principles, and he sticks by them. And he sticks by who he is, and
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
He's like just a great, all-around great character, great guy, very expressive, very like caring for his people. Cares about his father, even though his dad kind of has turned into a bit of a dick.
And that's the thing, even with those villains, quote unquote, because I mean, Ultima I find fairly disappointing. I think one thing I do love though is some of the concepts going into 16. Definitely see some Gnostic demiurge, religious, mythological weaves in there. There's like a really cool tie between Greek and Christian and Western religions. Should we keep strolling, my dear?
Yeah, be careful, there's a car coming.
And there's a lot to explore in 16. Like the terms, the references, the various philosophers that are sort of quoted in there. That even a poopy ass villain like Ultima, who I gotta say, when he first showed up, I was like, shit, this is gonna be the best villain I've ever damn seen.
Yeah.
So the thing with saying the things I love with 16 is I've got to go back sometimes to that pre, like
before
70.
You knew everything.
Yeah, before the ending, the pre-ending point. When I go back to how some of these villains and these arcs and these mysteries made me feel, I have never been so enraptured by a game.
Oh, for sure.
I was on the edge of my seat. 16, you had me in the palm of your hand.
This might be my favorite Final Fantasy. That's where I was at that point.
So was I. And that, honestly, for me, led all the way up to, I'd say, as far as Willowed.
Yeah,
Willowed.
definitely Willowed.
Not even just the story, but also the world building. I really do love the world building in 16. I've been asking for a linear, story focused, and I even said Lightning Returns style layout, world map. That is exactly what we got. It is very Lightning Return. You played LR? Yeah. So like you got like 4 distinct regions, and then sub-regions within those. I do think some of the exploration could have been a bit richer in terms of random variety.
Yeah, we talked about that.
You're walking around the world, and just random things are happening. Random interactions. I don't know, a bear on the run, or I even said like a travelling theatre troupe. I don't know why I keep coming back to
I don't
this.
know why you want that so bad.
Because even in a world that's going to shit, you still need like entertainers and stuff. I don't know.
I mean, the Bard was there.
The Bard was there. We did have a bard, to be fair. But yeah, I do love the RPG and the action elements that we do have in 16. So we do get a nice amount of each, but it's not definitively one or the other. That's what I'm saying, because I really enjoyed the combat system, the action in this. Did you have a good time?
Oh yeah, I mean, the fact that it's so, like, you can do whatever you want with it, I think is amazing, because I've watched some people's gameplay since I finished, and just how different everyone's
play style is. The format.
Like, you can make it whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, like either being an air juggler or sort of a blocky defensey counter, or a staggering sort of build. Yeah, a whole load of variety, a lot of player freedom to make the combat whatever you want, and unfortunately within that does lie the ability to make it very easy.
Oh yeah.
Very easy.
Sure.
But you know, if you challenge yourself and you you set up iconic abilities that are both fun and slightly challenging, because there are just definitely some that are way more powerful. Oh, hello. Hello, puppy.
Sniff my ass.
Hello, puppy.
You want to sniff my butthole? I'll sniff yours. I smell good.
Yeah. Taking a little stroll. This is just the kind of thing you have in Colombia. You just have like little stalls and markets on the side. All the dogs here are so fantastically behaved though. They are really well behaved. People always just like cooking stuff in pots, and you'll have a little house that you go to get your bread. What are you smelling in the air right now, Bri? Bacon?
Some kind of pork.
Yeah. And just beautifully landscaped hills and houses, and you can tell there's a lot of community going on.
Oh yeah.
Around here, they'll sort of meet up at the
local
store.
They all kind of know each other.
Yeah,
like
they all know each other.
And stuff. I think like the guy where we're staying at, his family seems to be kind of rich and owns a lot of
this
area.
Whole area. Yeah. So everyone knows each other, invites each other over. We kind of like a little bit jealous when we see them all like getting together.
Yeah, I was mostly jealous because I knew they had good food. And
Yeah, Bri was.
I want that.
We're very hungry leading up to this ayahuasca.
Knowing that if somebody's having a party, like they were having like a birthday party for their kid, do you think they could for a chance have cake up there?
Yeah, do you think I smuggle a few cupcakes?
Smuggle some cake.
A few Hugo cupcakers.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I do love, thinking of Hugo. Like, I do love the definitive arcs.
People hate on Hugo way too much.
People hate on Hugo, and also
You know,
people hate on like Sid dying and Benedicta dying.
I loved that. I mean,
yeah, I actually did love it. Like for me, I do love the format of 16 where you specifically it feels like a chapter. And this is Benedicta's chapter.
Yeah.
This is Sid's. This is
It felt
Hugo's,
fleshed
and
out.
going to each of the 5 mountains. And every time I got to one of those mountain gates, because it would always be kind of a palisade, or I'd feel my heart going. Start beating, start palpitating, because I know there's going to be a dank fight, and then there's going to be a sequence. Wait for this truck to pass. I was in for a freaking ride, and it's a very unique feeling that 16 was able to create, where the anticipation of the whirlwind that you were going to go into, that anything could happen, and also anyone could die. No one's safe. That is a feeling that very few games are bold enough to create.
Oh yeah.
And it's still in the player, and yeah, it does require.
I felt that up till the very end.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know what was going to happen to Jill, Torgal.
Jill could have very well like seppuku'd herself at the end. Am I fucked up for like potentially liking that idea?
What? Jill just
Yeeting herself?
for what? In what fashion?
She realizes that Clive dies.
Oh no.
It would be really dark, but I mean they're dark. They're going dark.
No, because Jill's stronger than just Clive. She was a strong lass.
She was a strong
Like
lass.
what I also appreciate is when Jill got kidnapped, Clive's initial reaction was a very unique moment in the game where he wasn't like, "We gotta go save." He was like, "She'll be alright."
Yeah.
I was just like,
We'll do like 12 side quests and then go get Jill.
yeah. The game, it didn't feel very cliche in a lot of areas. There were certain parts of it that did become quite predictable, especially the going to certain nations, and we're gonna have a bunch of Akashic attack. We're gonna have there's fucking hordes of them, hundreds of thousands. Clive fighting like 12 Akashic goblins by himself. Again and again and again.
Yep, each place, the same thing.
That did get tiresome, and it kind of ties into one of the things I love, because I do want to keep this things I love video.
Positive.
Yeah, I did like the nation building. What we were thrust into, especially because the first 50% was so solid in this regard. The setting, the scenarios, the nations, the treaties, the various different plays and happenings in this big chessboard war game. I loved it.
Is that a diaper?
That is a diaper. Who's just lobbed a diaper out?
Somebody just stepped right out of it. Like, oh, this one's done. Let's just chuck it on the floor. I thought that it was cool, a cool idea, a cool theme to have. Even like the most insignificant, kind of smallest person can make a huge difference and kind of change people's minds and lead people.
Yeah,
I thought that was a cool idea. It was just poorly executed.
it was a bit poorly executed. So I think specifically, say, like Lubor, the Dame was the worst one.
Really not the way to do that. But I do think that the theme tied in really well with the overall theme of the
Yeah, and Martha was a little bit better, but at the end of the day, she's still just a pub landlady.
I mean, the fact that she held up a
frying pan.
frying pan says everything.
But when they got like Wade or when Byron and basically the transition from these sort of nations, these superpowers that are being sort of led by either theocracies or big military might, tyrants, dictators, corrupt republics, having it switch from that to basically humans, like people. There was like a transition and a real insight into sort of humanity, and I think we did get a lot of good themes like that. I think Sid was, for me, where it was strongest. Breaking out of conditioning, because I think this is a very conditioned world, not just the conditioned hatred for bearers, the conditioning that each of the various nations have, and that's what I really wanted to see. I wanted to see more of Barnabas's nation. I was so excited to see Willow, like this sort of like nation that had just been like hiding out by itself under the rule of this maniac, and I was like, oh, because of how rich the other nations had been, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Whenever you first get in there, it's nice, right?
It feels like
you get that feeling, the music, the ambiance.
Music, it's like Bloodborne-ish. You see like the ocean cresting up against an old castle.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is good. And then there's just Ida and a baby. Just Ida and a baby,
yeah,
the only people.
It falls off for sure. You expect to see more people, especially the further and further in you go, and then you're like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But whenever you first get there, and especially whenever you split off from Joshua, and like Joshua goes down and he sees like the full mural.
Yeah.
This shit's pretty cool.
It's very cool.
Especially whenever he brings up Leviathan the Lost, I'm like, I got so excited. I was like, where are we going now?
Yeah.
What's happening here?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, a lot of mystery, and the world was very, very rich creating. That's one thing I've got to give 16 big credit for. It gave me so many moments of awe, like actual awe. 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 I went ooh, and I felt awe.
yeah. Ooh and ooh.
I haven't had that in a video game for. There's only a few tiles. There's only a few select tiles.
I mean, yeah. It's been a
16,
long time since I felt that feeling.
16 definitely gave me that. Anyway, we're gonna pop in the shop now. Music stopped. So yeah, this is just the like little local town area. This is it. The guy whose house we're basically staying under, he owns that building. Yeah, they got like a little cafe, a little pizza place, little dogo.
None of which that we can.
Little dogo store.
We can't
And,
engage in any
just
of
a
it.
little. You see a stack of empanadas over there.
Damn.
Anyway, we'll pop in the store. We'll record the rest of this on the way back. Yeah, most depressing shop in the world done.
We got spice and water.
One pack of spice and water. Nothing else in there we can eat. Also, the people in Colombia, very, very nice people, except for those two. The two chicks in that store, they're the biggest assholes here. You're just like, we're white people walking in, they're just like from the start, they're just like...
Yeah. I mean, since we've come to...
Look at this whitey walking in here.
Yeah.
Like, no one else is like that but them two.
Well, we did have some people being kind of not so nice.
Oh, what the hell?
Jesus Christ.
I wonder if we
That
caught him
happened.
on camera.
Probably. I'll have to check back at it.
The guy just doing wheelies all the way down.
On a motorcycle, which is...
That's the dumbest idea.
You guys probably can't see this road, but it's very twisty turny.
Yeah.
Very dangerous, but okay.
But yeah, where did we last leave off? Themes.
We're talking about themes.
Themes. I did really like the theme of choice that was going on in the game. Choice and acceptance. It was like two sides to it. The choices that Clive was making throughout that big old year-long revenge arc. Believing that he kind of didn't have any free will. I mean, he kind of didn't. And a lot of, obviously, the slaves and the bearers in the game not having free will.
But yet they do.
But yet they do.
You see some of them act outside of what they're meant to be doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, they end up dying.
Yeah, and it kind of like falls into that conditioning point, isn't it? Is that your free will can be through circumstance and through ideology and doctrine kind of stripped from you through social structures and evils. But then even when it gets to that point where you can take back your own power and with the semblance of free will that you do have, kind of be blinded to it, miss it. And Clive did for many, many years. And especially that kind of all climax when he got to Barnabas. You know, Barnabas is exactly that, children of Zemeckis, sort of the ideology that his mother had. And yeah, it was a really cool moment to see, you know, free will, conditioning and choice throughout the game, and then leading up to, yeah, it was the one part of Barnabas I did like, where he was more or less like mocking Clive for basically as stubborn and attached to his idea of free will.
That moment on the ground, especially when he's he's finally dying.
Yeah.
Right before he dies, and he's giving him his power and telling him, like, you've served the master better than any of us.
Yeah. And Clive's response before that, you know, to say to Barnabas, no, you've always had free will. All of these choices that you've made, they have good points. And yeah, there were a lot of cool, insightful moments in 16. Would I have liked some of that messaging to be a bit deeper and a bit less I don't know, either surface level or obvious? Like it wasn't something you had to really dig deep for. And I think even the themes they do present, you've really got to extrapolate to get a lot of the true underlying meaning and wisdom beneath it.
That's true.
Also, the theme of love and sexuality was pretty twisty-turny throughout.
It was pretty accurate for once.
Yeah. Just so Jill and Clive's relationship.
Yeah.
Another thing we both love about this game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get hit by a van. Do we think that was the best relationship in Final Fantasy?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, I think it was. So many cars going past today. Specifically, what I was hoping for, I gotta say, I was kind of impatient with it.
Oh, yeah.
On this iteration, I was like, I don't want
They gave us
Final
a will
Fantasy
they, won't they?
romance bullshit. Yeah, will they, won't they? Dragging it out. Gav busting in to interrupt the kiss. Like, come on, get out of here with that shit.
It definitely pissed me off. However,
However, they didn't do it excessively.
No.
And they definitely paid it all off and then
yeah.
some. And what I mean by that is not just like a one moment of spark.
Yeah, it was. We got 3 kisses. We got I love yous.
Yep.
We got very sweet sentiments. We got some dating things. We got talks about the future.
Like full articulations
like
of what the other
actual-
person means to them.
Yeah,
and-
like an actual relationship would
Yep.
be. And it's the first time that I think, because I've seen some people complain about Clive and Jill's relationship, and I wonder if those people are Final Fantasy fans or not, because if you are one, then you'll know our history of what we've gotten previously has been jack shit. We don't really get a whole lot. Like,
we don't get a whole
little crumbs, and then it kind of pulls back. But with them, after they come together, you can see the difference in how Jill is acting.
Yeah,
She's more
her mannerisms
smiley.
are changed.
Yeah, it's
for
like,
sure. And it's very
more
nice
real.
to see.
Yeah, it's realistic.
Very heartwarming, very profound. Well done on that front 16, because
For sure.
yeah, I mean, I do like Yuna and Tidus and Squirrel and Manoa, but let's be realistic. They're on this journey. They're adventuring together. They're going through a lot of harsh.
I know.
It's fucking Marmax.
I know.
Fucking piss me off.
It's okay. We just have to repeat ourselves, I guess.
They're going through a lot of hardships, and it's like they have a moment. They just have a sparky moment.
Yeah.
It's like, well, is this what this was? Just like a. Basically, it's nice that Final Fantasy 16 took it out from just a moment of romance and some spark. We had a little smoochy, in all of the dark and angst that's going on.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is kind of
shit,
real.
Cloud and Tifa, we didn't even get that.
We didn't.
Zack and Aerith, did they ever smooch?
No.
Shit, man.
No. We just got a back hug.
Yeah. And obviously with some of these is, we then get an end scene. We did get an I love you from Yuna. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's
We did get a kiss with Squall and
it's never been a
Manoa, but it's
matured
just-
relationship.
It doesn't
And,
feel like a real, authentic kind of relationship in the slightest.
And that's the thing. I would say the authenticity of the characters and the characters' reactions to events, I found it very much fitting. There wasn't a moment where somebody's reaction was underwhelming or over the top, or it didn't match. It didn't match the gravity of the situation. There was one moment when I thought it wasn't going to sync up, and it was when Dion weren't responding to knowing about Ultima and his father and Annabella. It's like, oh come on, Ultima. Come on, Dion, are you seriously not going to do something to sort this out? Like, you really ain't just going, fucking hell, I've never there you go. Like, you're seriously not gonna mega flare these mofos?
Yeah.
To sort this out? And he did. He staged that coup, that entire scene. I think Clive, when he found out that he thought he'd killed Joshua, just losing it.
Yeah.
What were some other like really authentically reacting moments? Oh, when Benedicta lost Garuda. Oof,
Hugo
that
as well.
that fit very nicely.
Hugo's reaction to seeing like the Ultima version of Clive, like nomming on Benedicta's neck, and he fucking lost it.
Yeah.
That's some real shit right there.
Yeah, really well dramatized. All of the acting was great in this, and that even led down to not just the main characters, that led down to NPCs as well.
Oh yeah.
I do think this is the best cast of NPCs
Oh, for sure.
that we've had in Final Fantasy. Do I feel that way? Shit. 7 has great NPCs. It really does have great NPCs.
I wonder. The classics.
13 had like none. 15 had the worst.
The worst.
The worst.
So bad. It's like, what is this shit?
Yeah, man. I think Gav, Tarya.
Gav is just Tarya. Amazing.
Yeah, Martha.
Yote.
Yote's sick. Uncle Byron. Hey.
Uncle Byron.
Uncle Byron is a whole point unto himself. Clive doing that performance, and Uncle Byron doing it back with tears in his eyes. Most authentic moment in video game history.
Yeah.
Right there. Still like stabs me through the heart with wholesomeness.
Yeah. Also, a lot of the other moments with Uncle Byron, very whimsical, very silly. Kind of really brings up the mood even whenever you're going through a bunch of shit.
Yep.
It's like,
that's the thing. 16 did find ways to bring up the mood. Considering how dark it went. And did I like the dark? Yeah.
I love the dark.
I love the dark. We went swimming in the deep shady end of
Dark soup.
yeah, just human condition.
Yeah.
How dark it can get, how evil, how twisted. Damn, man, those bearers just like strung up in the sun to those pole arms.
That was just rotten.
Oh, we're back at the house already.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shot
Anything
down
we
like
can
a
finish off? What I love about 16. I mean, we could probably do this walk another 2 times and still keep coming up
Oh yeah.
with more reasons. All in all, I am pleased with this main line, despite all of the areas where I would pick to improvement. Areas that could have been fixed and I'd wanted more.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said in my previous video, a lot of that feeling is just because of the trajectory that 16 set itself on. Coming out the gate, it was so strong.
It sets your expectations so high, and it gets you so invested in these characters, and the world, and everything like that. That, yeah, it's just
when the latter parts
a testament to how good it is, and how much, and you can really feel it. That was something that I kept saying, like whenever I was first playing it, and you weren't even playing it yet. It's just like, I feel that this game was made with love.
Yeah.
I feel like it was made with a lot of care and intention, and it feels like that for a majority of the game.
Yeah,
and then, you know, it feels kind of rushed towards the end, because I feel it probably was. They probably had deadlines, you know. Yeah. And that's perfectly understandable.
I think it's a phenomenal jumping off point for Square Enix now, because they have been wading in the sort of the end of not being entirely sure what to do with the series, where to take it, and my overall feeling is 16 it's corrected some of that track. Doesn't mean that every Final Fantasy at this point has to have that same combat system or this same tonality, be M-rated, but more in terms of the storytelling, structure and quality and characterization.
That's the line we need to stay on.
That's the line we need to stay on.
For sure.
Because yeah, you know, 15 era did derail us
so bad.
Quite heavily in terms of the storytelling, which for me that is paramount.
That is
the quintessential
one thing that's necessary in a Final Fantasy.
It's
all the other stuff you can give and take, whatever. I need my story to be good. And it was.
Yeah, bloody bravo, Final Fantasy 16. You gave me one heck of a ride, and yeah, bring some DLC. Do you want some DLC?
I want a part 2.
You want to?
I want a 16 too, because I think it's very, very possible.
See,
a lot of people are saying, "Oh no, the ending was ambiguous enough to where it is completely possible."
I've seen a couple of comments saying I want 16 too, and whenever that happened, people have jumped in very quickly. No, STFU.
Yeah, people are just
get out of here. Why do you want a 16? Like prequels and sequels are what ruin the series. I'm just like,
not necessarily.
do
Lightning
I want...
Returns was better than 13.
Yeah, for sure. 13 too was better than Lightning Returns.
We'll disagree there.
I've got something in my eye. Oh, I freaking love 13 too. I love the
It was
game.
great, but the point being that the sequels were pretty much better than
Yeah,
the
I mean,
original game.
If you look at the story of 16, and a lot of people are hearing that, they immediately go, no, there is no opportunity for 16-2. Magic Bearer's dominance ended.
Doesn't have to be. There's a way to twist that.
There is a way to twist that. 1/16 of Ultima remaining, and if you go with Leviathan Lost, see whether all of this would just be a DLC or a 16-2. I don't know. Regardless, I do want to see more. I think we're going to most likely it could be a Sid. You like the Sid DLC?
Yeah, people love Sid.
Yeah, Sid was dope. Anyway, there we go, guys. I will see you in a couple of weeks.
Couple weeks, guys.
After we've ayahuasca'd up. Maybe levitating next you see me.
I'll be in the mountains.
We're going to become wandering
Monks.
holy monk yogis.
Yes.
Warrior monks.
The
Tifa
dirties on
and
the
Yang will be
plains.
proud of us. Yeah. But peace out, guys.
Bye.
Be well. And remember, 7 Remake Part 2 is on the way.
Oh, yeah. True. I thought you were like going for some kind of advice. Like, remember.
Oh, I do have some advice actually. So I had this page saved because there's a little piece of advice, especially when people were coming off the back end of 16 and obviously the ambiguous ending that it is. And you have impressions. You get an impression. Whereas when you dig deep, it's like anything with a game. You get an immediate impression, my impression of Alt, my impression of the ending. Why don't you take a step back and you look at it with a bit more detail? Other things emerge. And the Stoic said, trust but verify. First off, don't let the force of the impression carry you away. Say to it, hold up a bit. And let me see who you are and where you are from. Let me put you to the test. That's old our boy Epictetus. So one of the wonders of your mind is the quickness with which you can comprehend and categorize things. As Malcolm Gladwell wrote in Blink, we are constantly making split-second decisions based on years of experience and knowledge and previous Final Fantasies played, as well as using the same skill to confirm prejudices, stereotypes and assumptions. Clearly the former thinking is a source of strength, whereas the latter is a great weakness. We lose very little by taking a beat to consider our own thoughts. Is this really so bad? What do I really know about this person? What was Ultima really about? Why do I have such strong feelings about Clive dying? Is anxiety really adding too much to the situation? Anyway, by asking these questions, by putting our impressions to the test, as Epictetus recommends, we're less likely to be carried away by them or make a move on a mistaken or biased one. We're still free to use our instincts, but we should always say, as the Russian proverb tells us, trust but verify.
Trust but verify.
Trust but verify.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's bueno.
Peace out, guys. Toodaloo. Until the next video. Kubo! Yeah, good
Ow! Fuck.
No.
Yeah, it's tingling.
No.
Yeah, it landed on a nerve, I think.
Don't be a weenie.
I'm not.
Are you lying?
It actually did. My whole hand's tingling.
Oh. We did it with 18% battery.